Israel is pressing ahead with more airstrikes against Iran's military and nuclear facilities. Iran has been responding with ballistic missiles. Tehran has not updated its death toll from the conflict since Sunday, but an activist group estimates over 550 Iranians have been killed by Israeli airstrikes across the country and over 1,200 injured. Israel says so far at least 24 people have been killed in attacks by Iran and over 600 injured.
Air raid sirens sound over central Israel, announcing incoming Iranian missiles. Most are intercepted, but some make it through. In Herzliya, north of Tel Aviv, empty buses at a depot were hit. Iran has retaliated with missiles and drones since Israel began its surprise air campaign against its longtime adversary on Friday. Israeli warplanes have crisscrossed Iran, hitting nuclear installations, missile stockpiles, scientists and generals. The latest target, Ali Shadmani, had been in the top job for just 4 days.
Tonight, following accurate information received by the intelligence branch, we eliminated Ali Shadmani, the most senior military commander of the Iranian regime. He was eliminated in the heart of Tehran. Shadmani served as the chief of staff of the Iranian regime's armed forces and was the man closest to Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei.
In social media posts, US President Donald Trump said he knew where the supreme leader was hiding, but that there were no plans to take him out. For now. He also claimed the US had control over Iranian airspace. In Iran, thousands of residents were stuck in traffic jams on Tuesday, trying to flee Tehran as Israeli attacks continued. Earlier, Donald Trump instructed residents to evacuate the capital, leaving people wondering if direct US participation in the bombing was imminent.
Sirens ringing throughout the night across parts of Israel sent citizens rushing to bomb shelters as another barrage of Iranian missiles were intercepted over several cities. Projectiles were brought down by Israel's air defense systems over the skies of Jerusalem. Explosions were heard in Tel Aviv. Israeli attacks were also reported overnight in Tehran as well as in central Iran. Israel says it's conducted strikes on Iranian launch sites and storage facilities. Let's bring in our correspondent Tanya Kremer in Tel Aviv. It's been another tense night from what I hear. Can you bring us up to date?
Yeah, for many people here it has been another sleepless night, so to speak, but at least it was shortly after midnight. The first warning and alert told people to go to the shelters, and then shortly after another one. So we understand there were 2 barrages of ballistic missiles launched at Israel at that time, mostly most of Israel here, also in Tel Aviv and many central Israel and northern Israel. The military said most of them have been intercepted. There was 2 fires reported in 2 locations. We don't know if there was a hit or whether this came from, shrapnel from the interceptors, but there have also been no major injuries reported. There were less missiles than in the previous days, up to 25. The Israeli media has reported. We also understand that the military has intercepted several drones overnight and also in the morning in the north, but also coming from the east over the Dead Sea, and they will also intercept it. And that comes, of course, now when everybody here in Israel at least is talking about, what the US, the United States, will be doing after this phone call between Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and US President Trump. There's the expectation that US President Trump will make a decision whether to join more actively into the attacks, for example, sending those B-52 bombers that Israel would need to attack the Fordo underground nuclear site. And military officials here have told us that the next 48 hours are crucial for this.
Well, while bombs fall and flights are cancelled, what's Israel doing for Israelis stranded abroad?
Yeah, the first flight, repatriation flight, as it's called here, landed this morning, came from Larnaca in Cyprus with Israelis on board. At the moment, these are only flights into Israel. We don't know about flights taking people out. There are also Israelis who live abroad that are stranded in Israel, and foreigners also that are stranded here. Now we understand that there will be more of those flights bringing Israelis back to Israel. The procedure at the airport, the authorities there have said, they do this very quick, so not to gather people, too many people in one location. Also, this of course only works if there's no further threat, because the skies remain closed, and they have been closed since Israel started its attack on Iran last Friday.
And the strikes from Israel continue on Tehran?
Absolutely. The military here claims that there have been non-stop in the air with the Air Force since they started this attack. And overnight we heard that they have said that they have targeted military sites in the area of Tehran, what they call centrifuge production sites, that are, according to the army here, used for Iran's nuclear program. Of course, we cannot verify this from here. Also, they continue to what they call hunt missile sites and production site for those ballistic missiles, as well as launching sites. They have also targeted them. And this is, of course, to prevent Iran from using them, from reducing their capabilities, from launching them towards Israel. And we also saw late last night in a message in Farsi, actually here from the Israeli military, calling on people in Tehran of a specific neighborhood to evacuate this neighborhood. This is a pattern we have seen also in Gaza and in southern Lebanon that is now being applied to the capital of Iran, Tehran, in the heart of Tehran.
Tanya Kremer in Tel Aviv for us.